Ain't no need for me to say nothing if ain't nobody coming in. How y'all doing? Push that like button. Y'all with me? I look like the Grand Reaper right now. You can't see my face, but I can see you. I'm waiting on my audience to come in. We want to talk about Trump's new executive orders that's shaking up liberals, and there's nothing they can do about it. We're going to talk about Trump's new executive orders that's shaking up the liberals, and there's nothing they can do about it. The Republicans, they own the House, they own the Senate, and they own the White House. So there's nothing they can do about it. Can anybody come in and push the like button and discuss with me the new executive orders that Trump has put in place, or he's putting in place in his first couple of weeks of office? He's already facing impeachment. He ain't been in office 3 weeks. He's already facing the first articles of impeachment. Now come on in, y'all. Come on in. Come on in. Because what we voted for, what Trump is doing, we totally disagree. Don't y'all disagree with it? Do y'all agree with it or y'all disagree with it? Do you like what Trump is doing right now? Can we talk about the new executive orders that Trump has put in place since he's been in office? Oh, boy, they seen that Make America Great again, and they ran. Oh my God. Come on in, y'all. If y'all will be my friend, I will be yours. I'm not trying to be a hypocrite. I'm trying to be a good person. Can I be a good person to y'all, and y'all can be a good person to me? Is that light good? That light ain't good. I got the spotlight the wrong way, huh? The light ain't good. Let me step back. Is the light good now? No, the light ain't good. No. There it go, right there. Is that light better? And y'all see me now? I'm black as hell. I'm so black y'all can't even see me in the screen. I can't even see myself in the screen. I'm black as this jacket. How you doing? Push that like button. Don't just come in without pushing the like button first. We got a good conversation that I want to hold with y'all and try to engage with y'all tonight. And we're going to eat some chili and cheese with some Doritos, with some yeah, we're going to some Doritos. Yeah, we're going to make some chili cheese and Doritos. A chili pie. And we can use some Fritos. How y'all doing? Push that like button. Y'all love peace? Y'all love being to y'allself? Right now, I am a black man living in America by myself. I'm looking for some. I'm looking for some company. Y'all want to come in and talk to me? This is like the best intimate conversation that we can have. You say you want me to, okay, I'm gonna come out my outfit. So we can be intimate tonight. Y'all wanna be intimate with me? I ain't got nothing else to do, nobody to talk to. Come on in. Let's talk about the new executive orders that Trump has put in place that got the liberals going crazy right now. Oh my God. And the new man, he just been coming through. He been coming through the White House with a bamaram, knocking down everything that the Democrats has put in place. Keisha B, how you doing? Come in, be the first one to push that like button. Show me some love. Show me that you love me, Keisha. I need some love right now. Ain't nothing but a fingertip piece of energy away to just to push that like button when y'all come on and acknowledge yourself. All you gotta do is do the same thing Keisha B did. Hey Snag, how you doing, beautiful? Keisha B. And we got 5 more people who just staring at me and they won't even acknowledge themselves, so I can give them acknowledgement for coming into the feed with us before the other people get to coming in here and the names get to coming in so fast I can't read them off, but it's okay. It's okay. You know, we slowly, intimately coming in. I've been on 6 minutes and I got 6 people watching me. So I think I get a minute, I get a person per minute that watch, you know. So push that like button and we finna talk about the new executive orders that Trump done put in place that got the liberals going crazy and it's nothing that they can do about it. Do you know what's going on right now? Can we talk? Can we talk civilized? Do you agree what's going on? Do you like what's going on? Do you think that what's going on is fair? Like, do you think that what Trump is doing right now is for the best interest of American people? Hey, come on in. Y'all come down. He's good. He's good peoples. Thank you. Thank you. I ain't even got started yet. They don't even know what they watching. But hey, thank y'all for coming in. I ask everybody that come into my feed to push the like button, leave a small positive comment, and if you acknowledge yourself, I will acknowledge you. If you can engage into the conversation like a civilized adult, we will engage back with you. This is a platform for positive people only. We only do positivity. I talk a lot of shit, but positivity is all we promote on this page. So if you're not a positive person, if you're a negative person, you got negative energy, if you ain't on this positive frequency, then I ask that you please leave. Go find you somewhere else to go troll, stroll, find you somewhere else to engage with. Because this right here is for intellectual people of America that got good conversation and know how to intellectually conversate with a mutual understanding. You know, we have a common factor of communication in here, and it's all about love. Love, understanding, peace, knowledge, wisdom. You know, if you about that, if you want to see transparency, you want to see people do better, you hate to see people suffering, then hey, come on in. Tell us, please. I need an update. How you doing, Miss Sapphire? Come on in, push that like button, be my friend. I'm a man of reasoning. I don't, sometimes, you learn as you get older. Well, you will learn this as you get older. There ain't no sometimes to it. Time tells everything, right? Now, for me personally, what is going on in our government, in our world, in our society, in my years of living, and I've been living a long time now, I've never seen it as bad as it is now for black people. What's up, Snag? Well said. Can we just slow it down and really talk realistic about our reality and what we are facing as human beings and living in America? It's so sad to say, man, that Everybody believes in the American dream. And it is no such thing as an American dream. It's an American nightmare. If you try to live the dream, you will live in a nightmare. And then once you release the mental frustration of trying to live like everybody else, you'll live a lot better, more peaceful. When you really come to the conclusion that you'll never be able to own a home, you'll never be able to buy a home, you'll never be able to qualify, you won't even be able to afford an apartment. You have to start to come up with, alternative solutions for yourself and, for what you can afford. You know what I mean? For what you can do for yourself, A lot of people is living so bad right now. Hey, you looking at one. You looking at a brother that own his own business, and I'm homeless. I ain't got nowhere to go. I ain't got nobody to talk to. It's cool. It's cool right now. I ain't trying to, I had to move out my apartment the first of the year. I had to let it go. Couldn't afford to pay rent and try to keep my business at the same time. And I know I wasn't gonna let my business go and go home and cry. So, So I had to let the apartment go to hold on to my business. I knew I was scaling on rocks because I just, you only can pay what you got. And when you ain't got it, and bills are steady coming in, and you like, dang, what can I do? One day at a time is what I do, Today was a prime example how, it wasn't that good of a day. And today was supposed to be, if I really expected something, my expectations were, my expectation said I was gonna do 20 haircuts today. But I ain't do but 2 haircuts all day on a Saturday. Damn. But in those 2 haircuts, what I made? I made like $160. So that was cool. 160. So that was cool. You got to tell us to talk to. Tell us to talk to. Man, you know what I feel like? I feel like dreaming right now. Even though I'm living in my dream, I feel like dreaming a little more. Have you ever felt like dreaming before? Well, in my world, I'm living inside my dream. Even though it ain't going like I want it to go, it's still my dream. I'm in my own world. I ain't bothering nobody. I ain't fucking with nobody. Ain't nobody fucking with me. How y'all doing, bro? All right. In my world, I'm the actor. I'm the cameraman. I'm the star of my show. This is my barbershop. I own everything that you see behind the background. I bought it. I started my shop with about $1,500. And everybody, you said smart move. Without the business, how can you afford the apartment? Yeah, exactly. Like, shit, I had to let something go, man. It ain't adding up and it ain't making sense. And then I wasn't going to the motherfucker in the first place. Like, I probably went home like twice a week, 3 times a week, take a shower, dip. So I'm paying I'm paying $1,475, $1,475 a month just to take a shower about 6, 12 times a month. And people be like, oh, snag. I don't shower every day. I did 17 years in prison. And if I ain't fucked nothing, I ain't had no pussy, I ain't broke no sweat, I ain't worked out, I ain't sweated, I ain't did nothing but laid around and just chilled and slept and eat, smoke weed, cut hair, talk shit, go back in the room, go back to sleep. Like, I can do that for 2, 3 days. It's like I'm just laying around the house. I ain't doing shit. I ain't going nowhere. I ain't doing shit. So it's like, and I'm just making money. So I don't, I always keep me enough weed where I ain't gotta go nowhere. So I'm good. And I just live my life one day at a time. I don't know how it's gonna come. I don't know what tomorrow gonna bring, but you know, I pray that it's better than the day. That's all we can do. Pray for the next day to be better than the day before. That you do better. That you touch somebody. That's what I do, man. And I thank everybody for coming in, watching, showing me some love. You know, my biggest dream is what I'm doing right now. I made my dream a reality. I actually thought about having this shop the way it is, designed the way it is, the way I got everything set up when I was in prison. And I told myself, and I knew I was gonna get here, but it just ain't going the way I want it to go right now. You have more than a lot of people. I don't see you as being homeless, real talk. You got that shop set up just right. Well, because I was homeless before I got into this situation, I was really the worst as I ever, like, the lowest I ever been in my life. They say once in order for God to uplift you, you gotta lose everything. Like, and even, back then I didn't understand it because I was holding on to a lot of things that I felt like was valuable to me. But after I lost all those things and I ended up starting and rebuilding all over again, I appreciate the I appreciate less now. Like, I appreciate having less. I don't want to accumulate a lot because I might have to carry that shit around one day. You know what I mean? But it's cool though. God is a blessing, man. And this is a dream. To be a licensed barber, to own your own barbershop in prime real estate. I got the #1 prime real estate location in this location where I'm at. So no matter what, even on a bad day, I'm still making more money than the average barber's good day around here. And I'm not cheap. And I have to strategize at the market prices. I have to market my price accordingly, man. Like, but it's cool though. I'm blessed. I ain't looking for no trouble. Only thing I'm looking for right now is a compatible companion. And that means we gotta be compatible in every aspect. Like, one thing about a confident, single, successful man, or how do you say a man that's chasing his success, I understand the value of my presence, my time, my atmosphere, and I just don't allow anything in it. So if I do choose to be with a woman or allow a woman to be around me, that means I want her around me. I don't need her. Like, shit, I've been single now, but 9 years. I don't need a woman. I want a woman. But at the same time, I can be without one. I can do without one. I don't need one. Like, I'm cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I've been patiently waiting for a good woman, the right woman. Like, if she ain't the right one, I ain't settling. I done had a lot of motherfuckers. I can't do it. dick won't allow me to. My mind won't let me to. If you ain't that, if it ain't what I want, I just can't settle for less. Like, and I guess I just won't be able to have what I want until I get my money right. Now, if I get my money right, I'm gonna be able to attract exactly what I want. I know that. You know, I know I will. So I'm gonna keep working. I know what I want. I'm gonna find it. Push that like button. Say I'm picky. Hell yeah, I'm picky. You can have one short toe and that'll fuck it up for you. Like, I'm different, man. I want, if I'm not sexually attracted to a woman, I just can't fuck with her. I done did that before. Just fuck with, men, especially black men. Black men will, will damn near date anything. I know I speak for all because I done did it. We tried. Sometimes when some people be so desperate to just allow people in their life, you know what I mean? Like, I know I done made the mistakes before. That's why I'm cool now. I don't give a fuck. I done let too many people that don't supposed to be you know, trying to fill the void until I can find what I really want. And then I still don't find what I really want because I'm wasting my time with a motherfucker I'm trying to fill the void with. You know what I mean? All men not just Afro-Americans. What you mean, all men not just Afro-American? You better be picky. LOL. What you mean? I got a lot. I'm valuable. I am a high valuable man. I might not be, worth a $500,000. I am. I know I'm worth more than $500,000. I'm worth millions. As long as I can keep my business, I'm alive. Shit. I don't know what nobody say. I don't care what nobody say. I just count the money I done spent on keeping my business, That's all I can count, the money I done spent. I know I done spent over $100,000. I spent that on rent, god damn it. So, not rent, rent. I done spent that on rent. I paid $2,600 a month. So that's, how much is that? 26. 10 months is 26,000. You got another 52. Yeah, that's 27,000. I pay $27,000 a year just to keep this goddamn place. Ain't that about a bitch? Shit add up, don't it? Yeah, that shit add up. Whew. You said black men are the only men that will hit anything. Hell yeah. Especially when ain't nobody looking around late night, they drunk. Pussy ain't got no face on it. I done woke up. I've been an equal opportunity dick slanger. I done gave a lot of women some dick because I feel sorry for them. Like, especially you get to talking to them. Like, when the last time you had sex? I ain't had sex in like 7 years. 7 years? You ain't had no dick in 7 years? Girl, I'm gonna give you something tonight. Like, I niggas be hating that shit, but if you don't tell nobody, I'm gonna give you something. Like, but I'm real, man. I cannot be with a woman that I can't stare at and I don't feel proud about going out in public with. Like, I want a woman so goddamn beautiful and fine. When any restaurant I go into, I'm gonna open the door and let her come in first. And when I walk in, the whole restaurant's supposed to be pure quiet, screaming, God damn, at the same time. I'm gonna be like, you goddamn right. She finally the motherfucker, ain't it? Catching all them compliments. Like, I believe my woman should walk in front of me, nigga. I want to see and catch every compliment. I be watching. Like, I don't want a woman that another nigga ain't looking from a long distance. Like, God damn. God damn. Like, if you don't look like that, then I don't want you. Shit, my tongue ain't gonna get on hard if you ain't fine and beautiful and sexy like my mama. Like, I like women like my mama was. When I was young, I just like the reaction that my mama caused when we was going down the street. Yeah, men date women that look like they mama. So if they mama was pretty and fine as hell, look at the type of women they gonna date in their life. Now, if they mama was a booger monster, oh, them niggas gonna settle with a goddamn. Oh, I don't care about weight. I don't care about nigga. What you mean you don't care? Any nigga say he don't care about a woman's weight or what she ended up fully developing. That's why I cannot talk to a woman. My woman gotta be in between the ages of 25 to 27. Like I start around 23. I keep them in that probation phase for the next 3 years. When they hit 25, 26, 27, then you know exactly what you got, right? I'm telling you, that's that prime for a woman, you know what I mean? So when she hit 28, 29, and 30, yeah, boy, you good. You safe, you know what you got. She gonna be like that till she 45, to menopause kick in. You said, Snag, you need to stop. I can't with you. Man, listen, I've been living a long time. I can teach y'all some shit. I'm telling you, I know nothing but the truth about the way shit goes, how women is. You know what I mean? I understand. That's why it's a reason why a man my age, remember, I'm almost 50. It ain't your real business how old I am. I ain't telling no motherfucker how old I am. Never again. It ain't your business how old I am. Just know, bitch, that I'm almost 50 years old. And I don't tell my age. It's all I need to worry about is how old you is. So as long as you in between the ages of 23 to 27, you in my dateable position. Like I like my women young and dumb. Like the younger, the dumber. So if you around 23, you can get it. Like I like that. Like fuck what y'all got to say. You know they done lived a little. Them ain't babies. Them young, mature, growing into women. And if we can catch them right around them ages, we can stop them from making a lot of mistakes. And we can turn them into some successful women. Like a black man to take a broke woman and create a. I know how to create a bitch. I don't give a damn what nobody say. I like to save hoes and turn them into housewives and every female that I ever fucking talked to and had for a little while, it's fucked up. After they run off and leave me, they get married to the next nigga. Like I'll be like, God damn, this nigga reaping all the benefits. I done built this bitch and taught this bitch. And I'm like, for real. Sure was dumb at 26. Hey, listen, ain't nothing wrong with being dumb at 25 if you catch a nice young old man that can treat you right. He got his finances right. Y'all can work together, build an empire. Like, ain't nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing wrong with that. It just be, they mama get mad when you take them home. When they take you home, they be like, Mama, I want you to meet this guy, man. He good, too. He good to me. And they be I've been already put the dick on them and everything, so they locked in. They mama be like, where you meet this nigga at? How old are you? None of your damn business. I'm grown. Fuck you mean? Ain't your daughter grown? Not my baby. She is not no baby. Fuck you mean? Not the way she did me last night. Ain't no way. She's an experienced woman. A nice experienced woman. Now, didn't nobody know how to really train her how to be fully experienced, but when I get through with a goddamn, I'm telling you, I done put the dick on one. I done put the dick on them so good, they go home and slap the shit out of their mama. Wow, why you tell me I can't talk to older men? Them older men got exactly what I need, mama. Like, what the hell you talking about? You don't know what you... I put the dick on them, make them go home and slap their mama. Am I the only one? Grown men. When grown men put that dick on you, baby, your eyes you gonna see life differently. Yeah. Then now after I put that dick on them, I'ma go in my pocket here, baby. Here go take these cup, here, baby. Go buy you something. Here go 300, baby. Here go buy you something nice. Okay, Daddy. I like you. Okay, baby. Go on, take care of yourself. Go on, do what you need to do. Go on, get them toes and hands done. Old men like to get they women toes and hands done for two reasons. When they sucking, they doing a two-hand stroke. We like to see pretty hands, them nails. Them nails got to be right, girl. With the two-hand stroke. Yeah, and then we got them feet cocked in it. Got them feet cocked back. Yeah, them feet all in our face. You got them pretty toes there. I be like, I be licking and tickling their feet, hitting them at the same time. Am I the only one? My name's Snaggerpuss. If I ever get a hold of your woman, you'll never hear from her again. she woo, woo, woo. Because, boy, y'all just don't understand. It ain't never been a problem for me to have a woman or to go get a woman. I can go find one tonight if I really wanted to. But my problem is to keep one. Like, every time I go get one of them, I go get one of them stragglers out the streets or Walmart somewhere. Walmart like my favorite place. I always get them from Walmart. But what I love about Walmart, any woman that you can get out of Walmart, you can take them back to Walmart and return their ass. Like, Walmart got a great return policy, for real. And I take their ass right back, sometimes the next day, like, for real. Wherever I meet them at, that's where I take them back to. See, I know how to psychologically trick them back to that same spot, and I'll leave their ass right there. Hold up, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get something. Am I the only one? You don't know nothing about me. Push that like button. Sapphire, same Keisha, but I haven't always been fortunate to find one with money. Shake my head. See, you ain't never, see, and that's the thing. We like hidden jewels. We like needles in haystacks. Like, a good man like me is really hard to find. I swear. Like, it's like 89, 99, 98% of the men out there is fucked up. It ain't but 2% of good men in this world. Good black men that got that striving to do shit, that, build empires and doing all that shit, like making real moves. That's why I gotta stay to myself. I can't fuck with just an ordinary person. Like, I need to find me an extraordinary woman, a real extraordinary woman, like a woman that really understands the value of me, and I can understand the value of her, and I can make her value more valuable by coming with me, and we putting our minds together, creating an empire. Like, same Keisha. Don't nobody like me right now, huh? I understand. Push that like button. How do I got 40 people watching me and only 3 people liking me? That's some hard shit to fathom right now. That's just like, can anybody tell me? I know if you like this hat, you should be pushing the like button. I am a black Republican business owner, nigga. I'm finna tell y'all some jokes in a minute. I'm really finna tell y'all some jokes. I'm feeling like, since I got about 50 people in the crowd, I'm gonna turn on my microphone, and I got like 3 new jokes I wanna tell. I wanna see if the crowd can catch them. See if they gonna work when I go out and I do some stand up. Y'all wanna hear 2 or 3 of my new jokes? I couldn't do nothing with him if he didn't have any money. See, my problem is my dick really work. And every time I get a young lady that want to accept my money and give me some, they say that they can't handle me, or I want too much. All I want to do is, I'm trying to tear their ass up. Like, ooh, when I say a F word or a T word, my teeth, man, I gotta get me some work so I can go get my teeth fixed, boy. Boy, that's another thing. That's another reason why I stay to myself, man. 'Cause lately, man, when I get overexcited and I see a girl that I really like, I start talking this shit, and I get overexcited, my teeth fuck around and fly out, and it scare the shit out of them. They be like, what the fuck? And they hit them too fast, like, and you can't hit a woman too fast with that type of shit. But they don't know how to fathom that shit in their brain. They be like, what the fuck? You ain't got no teeth? We ain't got no teeth. Like, damn, bitch, you act like it ain't gonna happen to you one day. Like, you act like you ain't gonna lose your teeth one day. Well, I got all mine right now. Well, one day, bitch, they gonna fall out. Like, have you ever gotten into an argument with a bitch, like, about their teeth? Like, yeah, bitch, you might got a mouthful of good, healthy teeth right now. But eventually, one day, you gonna have to get them teeth. Like, they gonna start coming out one at a time. The older you get, you're gonna start losing them. So don't think because right now, because you 25, 26, and you got a mouthful of teeth, bitch, that by the time you hit 30, 35, you ain't gonna be lost 3, 4 of them teeth gonna came out. You gonna have to run your ass to the dentist and get the motherfucker pulled. I got a toothache. Eventually, you just ain't lived a little long enough. Your teeth still a little strong and healthy. See, them little young girls, dumb girls I be fucking with, they be having fresh, pretty grills and shit. And it'll be fucked up because, you know, once I get them, it's rap. Like, I can just pull them out and sit them on my lap. And they be like, oh, shit. What the hell? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Just don't pull them out around my mama. I ain't gonna pull them out around your mama. Like, for real. Like, see, you ain't never had her. See, when y'all right around them, you know, y'all entering prime age. Like, you got to be in that entering prime age. You know, a real man. See, I'm in my prime right now. I tell everybody, I'm in my prime. Men don't hit their prime into their mid-40s. So, I'm in my prime right now. So, right now, for a man that's in his mid-40s, he got his own business and he's trying to be successful. Now, I can be more successful if I had a woman. See, right now, I just think that I need to just focus on my success. Then I'm going to find me a woman later on down the line like a real man's supposed to. I ain't got time to worry about trying to take care of somebody else, trying to figure out somebody else's problems right now when I got my own problems to deal with. So when I get successful, I'm going to find me a good woman. Like right now, it's not the time, so I'm not even thinking about one. No, but I am thinking about some pussy. I am. Like, and it's cool though, you know, men like me, we don't, the reason why we don't sweat over coochie, because we know the secret to getting coochie. Like, it's a secret, and it's a, you know, this is a gift that old men pass down. It's a wise gift that wise older men pass down to the mature man when they become mature. And we understand when we immature, when we living in the alpha male stage and we immature. See, alpha males are immature males. They haven't reached maturity yet. When you reach maturity, your balls gonna drop. See, when you hit the mid-40s and your balls drop, your mind start thinking a little bit different. You know what I mean? And you get to that point when you get a bad ass, sexy ass young girl on the bed, butt naked, you done squinch 2 bottles of baby oil on her and rub that ass down, and you waiting on that thing to get up, but you like, so you just keep squeezing the baby oil on it like, oh, it's finna ride. And then you ever run into that problem like I did for the first time, where your dick wouldn't get up, you like, what the hell going on? That's a sign of getting old. Like, I was sitting there mentally fighting with myself, trying to get myself up. Like, what? Rise, nigga, arise! Like, I used to just tell myself in the back of my mind, arise. That motherfucker be like, when I was younger, nigga, I used to think, arise, nigga. Don't let me see some titties or the right ass, like, instantly, like. And that still happens to me. When I see a girl that I'm really attracted to, I get an erection. I'm talking about erection. Like, I fucked around, and I don't know if y'all think I was tripping or not. Like, I got into it with this lady. She was a, what kind of doctor can I say this? She was some kind of doctor. She was checking my bottom area. She was my doctor. She was checking my bottom area. I be having this thing where I gotta run to the hospital, and this is a bad thing for single men. Like, I don't know if y'all ever heard, but single men, you know, for so long, for going without having sex, single men will bag up. Like, if you bag up, you fucked up, and you gonna feel it. Like, when you get bagged up as a man, if you ever understand or ever heard of a man getting bagged up before, it's like they can't even walk because they balls, every time they hit up against their legs, they like, oh shit, like they bagged up. Like it's a real definition to call blue balls. Like, and the doctor then told me, said, Snag, you need to really go find you a woman and release yourself, or, you know, get her to release you. You got to do something and release you. You just can't let yourself keep getting bagged up like that, because that's going to cause what they call prostate problems. And I'm like, so you telling me this is like a prostate issue right now? Like because, you know, I ain't getting none, and I'm bagged up, and I keep, you know, and that's fucked up when a man is sexually active and he fuck around and get bagged up. If you ain't never went to the hospital because you woke up with an erection and your shit started hurting like a motherfucker, and my shit would, and it wouldn't go down. But then when it did go down, this pain, this excruciating pain, just come all the way down to the bottom, and you just walking. And they tell me I got a prostate flare up because I done got an erection in my sleep, and I didn't release myself, or I didn't get released. So it's like a woman don't understand that when they listen to the white man and leave a man or stop giving a man coochie because they feel like they man didn't do nothing that they wanted them to do, so they feel like they didn't deserve no coochie. Coochie is not a deserving commodity. A coochie is a necessity for a man. And if a man ain't being released, the doctor told me, he said, if you ain't being released at least 3 times a week, then eventually you're going to start to have bag up problems, or you're going to be in the bathroom whacking off. And then that's just the, that's the saddest part. Like, fuck me up. Like, I fucked myself up. I bought this goddamn Fifi from Temu. Like, Temu sell Fifis. But my, how do you say, my what's my Gentile, or how do I say, my penis was too big for it, and it split through it, like, and it's crazy because it was like some type of like foam plastic. That shit felt good as hell, and I bust right through that motherfucker. And then I tried to order one of these new realistic, bitch in the box. Like, Temu sell bitch in the box. Like, they look pretty. Like, the one I ordered looked like Beyonce, but she was a shorter version with little feet. Like, you can size the feet. I had her feet to a size 5, and I brung her down to size like 4 feet 2. She was like, no, she was 5 feet 2, 5'2". That's what I brung her to. And she had Beyonce face, and it had like a little speaker program, a little chip you can put in them, and you can make them say whatever. Like, you can make the voice, like, but she's supposed to sound just like Beyonce. Yeah, this wasn't no cheap doll. Like, this wasn't no god. She's supposed to have that real, like, they said it was supposed to be like real feeling skin and stuff. I really wanted that doll, and they took $600 off my account. And, and I let them, I waited for a long time for that bitch in the box, and she never showed up. And then when I demanded my refund, the day I demanded my refund, the next day I got an email that said that my bitch in the box was finna be shipped. But since I canceled the order, if I want it to be shipped, I have to repay. And now, and when they wanted me to repay for the order, the price had went up like another $200. I was like, I'm not paying no $800 for a bitch in the box. Y'all niggas is playing. Like, first y'all were gonna sell me the bitch for $6, but now y'all want to try to go up on the price because I was a serious buyer. Man, fuck y'all. Y'all just took my money. Yeah, I be negotiating. I done got into it with prostitutes. Like, I had this little prostitute where she started sliding over for for a little pocket change. First it started off at $100, and the next time she came, I told her, I was like, I didn't call you. You called me. You said you needed some help. What kind of help you need? Oh, I was trying to see if I can get $100. I'm like, I ain't got $100. What you need help with? Oh, I was trying to get something for my kids and get some gas and none of that. I said, I tell you what, I got $80 right now. 80? All right, boom. So she come back a couple more days later. You think you can run that again? I can get that 80 voucher? I ain't got no 80 today. I ain't got it like that. I ain't gonna lie to you. Right now I got like $60. She was like, $60? Man, I don't do no $60. But listen, that's all I got. Don't tell nobody. You gonna give me some money? I ain't giving you nothing else. $60 is the final price. That's all I got. So, got that 60 out of me. Then she came back like 2 days later. Can you run that? Can you run that 60 back to me? Can I get that 60? I ain't even got $60 right now. I ain't did but one haircut. I got $40. That's all I got today. I ain't did nothing. $40. That's all I got. You gotta do better than that. How the hell you gonna tell me to do better? But is you gonna take the 40 or you gonna come back later? All right. Throw ass up again for the 40, right? I don't know what this bitch thought that once the price went down, that it was gonna go back up. She come back like 2 days later. I just wanted to, can you run me 100? I'm like, 100? 100? Man, I ain't got no $100. I do not have $100. Like, what? I can't do 40 no more. I ain't got no 40 neither. And you can't give me 60. I ain't even got 60. How much you got? I need some gas. I need some gas bad. And my babies need some milk. I'm like, I got $20. That bitch looked at me with like the evil eye. She was like, $20? Like, I don't know, you know. But that's all I got. And I gotta go buy me something to eat. I'm hungry. But caught me at the right time, you know. $20. That's all I got. Ooh. You gotta give me another 20. No, I ain't gonna be able to give you another 20. I ain't gonna promise you shit else. I don't want you to come back expecting nothing. I got $20. You get 10 minutes? No, you can't put me on no timer. I don't want no timer. Hell no. See, I ain't gonna even be able to do it with a timer. See, you trying to fuck with my head. I got $20. Come on. So, she come back a couple days later. And she was serious about $60. She was like, I need $60. I need $60. I can't do it. I ain't got it. I really need $60. I don't have it. I can't do it. I said, listen, I'm on a fixed income. Now, today is the 28th. I get my check on the 3rd. That's 5 days away. If you do it now, I'll give you 60 on the 3rd. But you gotta come back so you can get the money. Okay. So I tore her ass up for free. But that was on the 28th. On the 29th, I called her. I said, hey, you want to get that money on the 3rd, right? I need you to come over here and sweep my floor up real quick. I got you. She came over. I got it again. So I did it all the way to the 3rd. 5 days. I don't know what she had it calculated in her mind that I was supposed to be giving her like $60 for each one of those. In her mind, I was supposed to be giving her like $300. She was like, no, nigga, you owe me $300. She's like, you gonna give me $300 on the today, right? I'm like, 300. You damn right. 60 times 5, that's 60. 120, 180. That 180, 200, 240, and that's $300. That's the way that bitch counted with her fingers. I like my bitches young and dumb. You gotta count with your fingers fucking with me. I like that was not no 60. Remember, the price went all the way down to 20. I told you I was gonna give you 60 on the 3rd if you give me some now. Remember I told you, I said, come on back. On the 29th, you gave me some. On the 30th, you gave me some. On the 1st, you gave me some. 2nd, you gave me some. That 5 days at $20 a piece. Here go you $100. $100. Listen, today, didn't I just get my check? You want to make some more money? Come on. Okay. She go to the back, tore her ass up. Went in my pocket, I gave her $20 more. Hey, $20? Oh, you supposed to give me 60. I didn't never tell you I was finna give you $60. I didn't say I was finna give you $60. I told you, let's go to the back. Come on. We negotiated the price and we got it down to $20. And I'm cool with that. Now, if you come fuck me 10 times in 1 week, you can make $200. And that's sufficient. That's cool. That's what your pussy worth. That's all pussy worth. 10 times $200. Every time you come, I give you 20. You come back to back 2 times in 1 day, that's 40. You do that time 5 days a week. I can go 3 rounds. Hey, what you want to do? Am I the only one? Once it's free, right? And I had her coming through the month every other day. You gonna get it on the first, on the third when I get my check. I'm on fixed income, and I let her come in like 3 times out the month, 2 times out the month, and every first of the month I give her, if it was 3, I give her 60. 4, she really wasn't that good, and I ain't even want to deal with her no more. I really stopped wanting to deal with her. Pussy wasn't no good, head wasn't no good. I let you know what, I don't even think you worth that 20 no more. And she ended up getting married. The next nigga she dated, like 2 weeks after they got together, she got married. Ooh, that nigga loved her. How you doing? Push that like button. My name is Snaggerpuss. If you ain't pushing that like button, realizing you talking to a storytelling comedian that's gonna say some fucked up stories. I know y'all seen my new ad on YouTube. Boy, AI, the power of AI technology. They said that I went to prison for armed robbery, residential burglary, and aggravated assault, attempted murder. And I also admitted to shitting on white people couches before I left out. They called me the shit bandit. You ever heard when I was a kid? Yeah, I used to shit on people's couches when I broke in their house. For real, I used to shit on people's couches when I broke in their house when I was a kid. I don't do that no more. That was when I was a kid. I'm down there 50 years old, man. So, and when you that old, when you damn near 50, I ain't gonna never tell nobody, hold on, really am. Look at me. Look, they be looking at me, they like, ain't no way you 50 years old dressed like the way you dress. I be, yeah, cuz. Said 48. I'm a Generation X baby. I was born in the 70s. I ain't an 80s baby. Hey, see, I got that polo with that Nike on, with them old school Cortez Nikes. I be OG. G'd up on them niggas. Crips for Trump, Crips for Trump. Yeah, they get mad at me. How y'all doing? Push that like button. The doo-doo bandit. Yeah, they call me, yeah. Shit bandit. That's how they actually, they ain't have DNA back in those days. DNA, but they ended up linking me to the burglaries. It was like 200 and something burglaries. Them white folk were mad when they finally linked up to me. The statute of limitations was over with, but they still put my story on the news, talking about the shit bandit was detected. They detected who the shit bandit was 25 years later. I am so sorry y'all discovered that was my shit that I shitted on y'all couch. How y'all doing? That was like my MO, like right before I left, and that's actually why I stopped. Y'all want to know why I stopped? Look right here. See right here? Right here. You see right here? You see that wound right there? I was bending over shitting, and this white lady came out the back and pow, and shot me in the ass. I took off running. Oh my God. It was a graze wound. That motherfucker came in. I'm like, this bitch shot me in the ass. Like, for real, that white lady shot me in the ass. That was one of the reasons how, that blood trail. I got shot in the ass. I quit that shit. I doesn't tell you how God would, teach you a valuable lesson, or how God would chastise you. Like, God chastised me. I got shot in the ass shitting on them white folk couches. They ain't tell y'all that part of the story. I'm telling you, it ain't worth it. Like, if you tell you, man, that's why I need to talk to the troubled youth. Because I was troubled when I was a kid, man. Man, I was a real flocker, nigga. I never really got caught until I got shot in the ass, but that was the fucked up way to get caught. Like, for real, Keisha. I got shot. Well, right above the ass. That bitch hit me right there. I'm talking about, but I was just awake. When I heard the gunshot, pop, and I tried to, but it hit me so goddamn fast. But I took off running. I'm talking about that adrenaline was running through me. I didn't even know I was shot. I was gone. I'm like, ooh, this bitch shot at me. Ooh, this bitch almost killed me. But I had got all that shit. Like, for real. Old lady came out the back. One of them goddamn Saturday night specials. Pow! Oh! I was taking a good one, too. I was like, ugh! Ugh! I heard that white lady, oh my God, there's shit on my couch. Baby said she shit on my. I just seen that pistol. Pow! Oh my God. I really got shot in the ass shitting on somebody's couch. That's why I tell the kids shouldn't be coming up. See, that's the type of adolescent mindset that adolescents have. They think that it's cool that they getting away, breaking in people's house and shit, taking their shit. Then they just think it's cool to just pull their pants down and just start shitting on their shit. I did that shit before. That ain't cool, man. Y'all, I'm telling you, man, God's got something way better for y'all, man. Like, I don't. Little Red Dookie. Man, that woman shot me in the ass. That was fucked up, though, man. That's why I say you gotta really be more careful. Like life, man, you gotta take your children more serious. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, thank y'all for pushing the like button, man. I got stories to tell, man. I ain't even told half of the stories that happened to me in my life. You know, sometimes some of my stories bring back flashbacks, take me back, and I don't be liking to go back that far back, because every time I look at this wound right here, the white lady shot me in the ass. I wasn't doing nothing but trying to shit on her damn couch. That wasn't worth shooting them on. You tried to kill me because I was shitting on your couch. That shit ain't right. How you feel? Like, it's two sides to every story. The reason why I broke in our house, because I ended up raking this lady 5-acre yard, front and back. Raked it, all kind of leaves. Like, I packed out, like, I want to say at least 15 big old 30-gallon bags, nothing but leaves. She had me pick them all up. All up. All up. I raked, piled them up, scooped them up, cleaned them all up, then piled them out by the street. This white lady gave me $5. $5. She gave me $5 for cleaning up all this shit. I was so mad. Because usually, you know, when I was a kid, my grandfather used to tell me, say, the best way to get the most for the value of your work is go and do your best job and tell them at the end, I don't know what to really charge you for what I done. I just know I done my best. And I know that you know the value of what you'd have had to pay for this if you had to pay somebody professional to do it. I just ask that you to bless me. Bless me from your heart. You know, just give me a decent blessing, and I'll be cool with it. Most of the time, I'll do all that type of work around one of the white folk houses, and then white folks will go in their purse and give me $200, $120. If it's a smaller yard than that, they might give me like $60, $80, whatever. They gave me enough to look at it and be like, thank you, ma'am. I was satisfied for the money that they paid me for the work that I done, right? But this white lady, she had me go over hell and beyond. I raked this white lady from 8 in the morning all the way to 4:30 in the afternoon. And she only gave me $5. So I had already told myself, but when I went inside her house and she gave me some lemonade, and she gave me some oral. Old lady went down on me and she gave me some goddamn They call it fruitcake. White people like to make fruitcake. She gave me some fruitcake and some lemonade, and she went down on me, pulled her teeth out, and went down on me a little bit. And then I went back there and I raked the yard, and she turned around and gave me $5. $5. Yeah, it was an older white lady. She was about, I want to say like 65. She, you know, I already know what she wanted. You young man, come here. What you got down there? What you mean what I got down there? Don't sip on some of this lemonade, take a break. Old lady. Mm-mm-mm. I like colored folk. You color boys. Let me see it. Have you ever had it sucked before? No. I heard about it though. Shit. You gonna do it? Go ahead. Shit. Them white women know down south know how to, well, they know how to actually just straight out suck your dick, and ain't no man gonna say no. I don't give a damn how old he is. No, I ain't never had it sucked before. Gonna do it. Oh, lady went down. Every time I get to thinking about my past, see, right now, I'm thinking about how that old lady went down on me, and I'm starting to get an erection. Damn, I need to stop that shit. Am I the only one? That's why I don't watch Pornhub. I don't watch none of that shit. I don't watch porn, period. That shit like, that shit would kill me. I would kill myself. Like, I can't just intimately just watch sex. That arouse me up. I'll be in the hospital again because I've been bagged up. Like, no, I'm good. Like, I can't do that. Like, I can't do nothing that'll arouse me and ain't gonna, you know, finish me off. Like, it don't start nothing you can't finish. Shit. Am I the only one? All right. See, I gotta take my mind off. I gotta change the subject. I'm thinking about that old lady. I'm starting to get an erection. That's some bullshit. That's just like the goddamn, you know, I used to sell DVDs. I used to be the DVD king, like the DVD, like the kingpin. Like, I used to sell DVDs, like DVDs and CDs. I would own them, nigga. I had burners, nigga. I was burning DVD. I was making so much money off of DVDs, nigga. At one point, nigga, in my life, I got mad at myself. You know, I was making more money selling DVDs than I was cutting hair. And I was like, ain't no way, man. I can't do nothing that's gonna override my hustle, man. I ain't nothing. Like, I can't, in my mind, I can't, like, if my main income ain't cutting hair, and I'm doing something else to make extra money to not cut hair, I'm gonna be very sick with myself, because my passion is to make money, doing people hair, making people feel good. Like, I know my passion will really be good if I can, you know, get paid to make people laugh. You know, I know stand-up comedy, and like, people just think that I'm just, man, you get on stage. And, no, when crunch time comes, I'm ready. Boy, it's a lot of people that's working right now, doing stand-up comedy, getting paid. They ain't even funny, but they getting paid. But if you ain't getting booked on Friday, Saturday, at least Friday and Saturday, doing 2 shows each one of those nights, you ain't doing no real comedy. Okay? Right now, while I got this cooking, we gonna eat my favorite snack right now. Do you know what my favorite snack is? The Laughing Cow cheese. Okay, people are shocked, not shaken. And for executive orders to work, people have to accept them. No, they don't. What you mean? Trump is not. What you mean they gotta accept them? We are not going down without a fight for fairness and our rights. Man, when the Christians speak, you better shut up or they eliminate you. Well, them Jewish people got, them Jews got everybody at their heels or their feet. If you believe in the Bible, if you see how this is how religion play a major role in how Israel is able to do what they doing right now, and America is rocking with them. Now, America created Israel, so now America is finna collide with them. This ain't got nothing to do with Trump. This ain't got nothing to do with Trump. Oh, I done seen a bigger picture now. I know exactly what it means now. Right now, this is the best snack in the world. Have you ever had chicken and a biscuit before? Oh my God. Chicken and a biscuit with some Laughing Cow cheese. This is like the best little snack. Now, cheap people get this cheese right here. This ain't cheap no more. This shit like $7 for a can. But you know, rich white people, they get chicken and a biscuit, and they get Laughing Cow cheese. But that's like just that little bitty piece of cheese right there, about $7. Oh my God. I really like these crackers right here. These are like the best crackers in America right here. Chicken and a biscuit. Mm-mm-mm. Mm. Mm. Now, if you ain't never had a Laughing Cow cheese before, then you don't know what it tastes like. But this is the best cheese that you can eat on a chicken and biscuit. Mm. 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 This is good. Mm. food is cooking. So push that like button. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that food. That food is deliciously cooking right now. Delicious. Got celery, got chicken, got sausage, got corn, got tomatoes. Carrots, celery, potatoes, rice. Push that like button. Got some Laughing Cow cheese. That Laughing Cow. Man, them crackers taste so good. Man, man, I cannot stop eating these crackers. What do crackers be made out of? Why have you ever seen somebody make homemade crackers? I ain't never seen nobody make homemade crackers before. But this is a recipe that I wouldn't mind trying to create. Snag crackers. I think this would be good. I do some salty cracker. Now I call them salty bitches. Snag crackers. Salty bitches, non-salty bitches. These bitches are salty. Saltine. Snag sauce. I had the saltiest crackers. Wow. Push that like button. I'm gonna leave these crackers alone. Man, I can't stop eating these crackers. You said leave the crackers alone, Snag. Leave them crackers alone. Tommy, you said leave them crackers alone, huh? Oh my God. What the hell? How long do you think this gonna take to cook? It ain't been 5 minutes yet, huh? You know what? I ain't gotta ask that question. It is a time of duration on my damn. No. You know what? I thank everybody that came in, push that like button. Look at this. Delicious. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God. Delicious little snack. Oh, one man. Delicious. So I gotta make me a little incubator. So fold that. It's called Daddy Sippy Cup, so I get to sip out this little cup right here. Got the steak. Oh my God, look at this sausage and that thing. Oh my God. This is a nice little conservative meal for like 2-3 people. Said it look good? Thank you, Jane. Man, that chicken and rice tastes good. Tastes good. Delicious. This is delicious. Well, this right here was chicken, rice, sausage, corn, carrots, celery, potato, I had these sausages in it. Whew. This right here is delicious. It's a good survivor meal. I found that white chicken chili. This is good.
Tonight, several developing stories as we come on the air. The powerful winter storm bringing heavy snow and ice from the upper Midwest to the Northeast. The escalating legal fight over Elon Musk's plans to cut federal agencies. And the big game in the Big Easy. Security on high alert ahead of the Super Bowl. First, those dangerous winter storms moving in right now. 90 million Americans from Wisconsin to Maine under winter weather alerts this weekend. Heavy snow, sleet, and ice in the forecast. Much of the region still digging out from earlier storms. Road crews loading up with salt, with sleet and freezing rain expected in Baltimore. And up to 8 inches of
That's why I bought a big family pack of these.
All right, guys.
A lot of news to get to today, including a legal battle over buyouts for much of the federal workforce, the fate of the federal government's aid agency, the single largest donor of humanitarian aid in the world. It is right now up in the...
Listen, if this does not blow your mind, I don't know what will, because Google...
We're in a bounty hunter.
The Joe Rogan experience.
This USA thing that's going on, Mike Benz has been on that like a pit bull.
Here's how you can take advantage of infinite banking. Step 1. Purchase an Index Universal Life Insurance policy, also known as an IUL. Step 2. Keep your policy active. IULs are built with the ability to grow cash value over time by linking returns to an index like the S&P 500. You will fund the policy with a portion of your payment covering the cost of insurance and the rest going to your cash value. The funds in the policy can generate returns up to a capped rate, such as 9%, but never fall below a floor, usually 0%. This means your cash value can participate in market gains, but is typically insulated from market losses. Step 3. Take out a participating loan. Participating loans can give you the ability to borrow against your policy's cash value and still generate compound interest on the returns of those funds. Here's an example. If you have $500,000 in cash value and loan yourself $250,000, you would now have $250,000 tax-free. And, critically, your returns would still be based on the pre-loan amount of $500,000. This means if you had a 6% rate of return in a given year, your policy would be eligible for the full $30,000 worth of gains that year. Step 4. Use the funds from the loan as you see fit. You could purchase a rental property, pay for college tuition, supplement your retirement income, whatever you'd like, because you are effectively the bank. There is no credit check or limits on how you can use the money. Step 5. Decide when you want to pay back the loan. While the loan is outstanding, you will be charged a low interest rate that is ideally less than the compounding return your funds are generating in the policy. And when you pass away, any outstanding amount will be deducted from the benefit that goes to your beneficiary. And that's it. You now know how to become an infinite banker. If you have more questions, you can always schedule a free meeting with one of our experts at getamplifiedlife.com.
Wife got me this crazy new tool as a Christmas gift. God, I love her. It looks like a block with these weird pin.
A lot of news to get to today, including a legal battle over buyouts for much of the federal workforce, the fate of the federal government's aid agency, the single largest donor of humanitarian aid in the world. It is right now up in the air. But we begin today with an urgent warning for every American from someone deep inside the country's top law enforcement agency, an agency already functionally decapitated, as friend of this program, Frank Figliuzzi, puts it, by the Trump administration and facing threats from now pardoned January 6 defendants. Our colleague Ken Delanian reports that a message has been circulating in FBI circles from an FBI agent. It is believed to reflect the feelings of many inside that organization. We'll read that message to you. Quote, I offer this vignette free of political bias or moral judgment. It is not about any one person, but an amalgamation of multiple FBI special agents. I am the coach of your child's soccer team. I sit next to you on occasion in religious devotion. I'm a member of the PTA. With friends, you celebrated my birthday. I collected your mail and took out your trash while you were away from home. I played a round of golf with you. I'm a veteran. This is the quiet side of me that you do not know. I orchestrated a clandestine operation to secure the release of an Allied soldier held captive by the Taliban. I prevented an ISIS terrorist from boarding a commercial aircraft. I spent 3 months listening to phone intercepts in real time to gather evidence needed to dismantle a violent drug gang. I recruited a source to provide critical intelligence on Russian military activities in Africa. I rescued a citizen being tortured to near death by members of an outlaw motorcycle gang. I interceded and stopped a juvenile planning to conduct a school shooting. I spent multiple years monitoring the activities of deep cover foreign intelligence officers, leading to their arrest and deportation. I endured extensive hardship to infiltrate a global child trafficking organization. I have been shot in the line of duty. Something else about me? I was assigned to investigate a potential crime. Like all previous cases I have investigated, this one met every legal standard of predication and procedure. I'm now sitting in my home listening to my children play and laugh in the backyard, oblivious to the prospect that their father may be fired in a few days. Fired for conducting a legally authorized investigation. Fired for doing the job that he was hired to do. I have to wonder when I'm gone, who will do the quiet work that is behind the facade of your average neighbor. That's where we start today. With me at the table, NBC News law enforcement and intelligence correspondent Tom Winter. I'm former federal prosecutor and former lawyer with the DOJ National Security Division. Brendan Ballou is back. Tom Winter, I imagine as someone who understands and has reported on the FBI for a long time, that this rings true to you?
I mean, definitely. I can hear, I don't know who this individual was. I didn't get the email, but I mean, I can imagine a whole bunch of people that I've met over the years that are special agent, men and women that could fit this exact same bill. It's a very weird time for the FBI, just generally, let alone the January 6th threat, which I'll get to. The first one being, it's kind of the best of times and the worst of times. If you look at some of the priorities that the administration is shifting to, and you're an agent, and you're thinking about transnational crime, you're thinking about drug cartels and the tools that they'll now be able to use to go after them, areas that have really frustrated you for decades, and certainly the last decade, you're thinking, wow, we can really perhaps put some points on the board and do some damage. There also is going to be a changeover at the Bureau. Some things that the FBI do need to change. If Chris Wright was sitting here next to me, he would be the first to say it. That's point one. On the other hand, there was certainly work being done at the FBI last week. 2 top 10 most wanted list arrests. There were a number of cases that they brought and were culminating and working on. But now you're thinking approximately 4,000 agents, maybe up to just shy of 5,000 agents that have had their hands on this in some way or the other. And it's not the people that replied to my posts on this story on Twitter saying, well, if it was 5,000 agents, then they must not have been too busy the past couple of years. No, it's not that. It's just somebody who gets a phone call and says, hey, can you go interview Nicole? She might have some information about somebody who was at the riot on January 6th. Hey, can you go, Nicole, you're on the SWAT team, and today we're going after a drug dealer. Yesterday was a terrorist. Today it was somebody who sprayed bear spray in a cop's face on January 6th. That's your job. You're taking that as a court-authorized search warrant, a court-authorized arrest warrant. You're going out there and doing your thing. And people were really concerned towards the end of last week. It's abated a little bit, not a whole heck of a lot. Both current and former agents who may be in other law enforcement capacities, who may have their clearances, who may have jobs that still help this country's security, now thinking, what's next? I'm walking around with a baby grand piano over my head. Am I going to lose that clearance? Or if I'm active FBI, where am I going to go to? And one of the things that the FBI has specific skills. And sure, they could be hired by their local police department, but they're not going to be hired at the sergeant, lieutenant, captain level. They're going to have to start their careers all over again. That's a lot for families. And they already give up a lot. There's not OT per se in the FBI. They spend a lot of time away from their families. If you're on a surveillance squad, it's 24/7, not 24/7 surveillance. You're not on it 24/7, but it's a lot of time away. You've devoted a lot of that to your mission because you believe in it. It's not a security guard job, not to knock that, but it's not that type of a job. You have to be going out there and trying to make cases. And so I think when you look at it, for them, there's an awful lot for them to be concerned about. And the longer this kind of hangs over their heads,
Gotta go out there and make cases.
There's really some consternation.
Yeah, we finna
And
get rid of y'all.
It does naturally draw away.
Y'all out
attention.
there
If
making
my
up
job was
shit.
on the line sitting here today with you, I might not be fully focused on what I'm about to say because you're thinking about your family, you're thinking about your livelihood. So those are all things that are in play. The other thing that's at play is, and there's a saying, IRS, CI teams say it, FBI agents say it, big cases, when it comes to publicity, big problems. And so we've seen in the case of Joe Ziegler, he was one of the whistleblowers in the IRS case. He was the one who opened the investigation into Hunter Biden. His whole life has been changed because of all the attention that that case brought and the eventual guilty plea that came out of it. If you're a federal agent, think about all the cases involving members of Trump's circle over the years. Roger Stone, Paul Manafort, Mike Flynn, everything we've been talking about for the last 8 years. What is the incentive to go out and open that case? To go to your supervisor and say, hey, I found out so-and-so might be up to something that's no good. And I'm not saying there's anybody that's under active criminal investigation. Hopefully there's nobody that should have been under active criminal investigation that wasn't ultimately charged here in this whole administration. But we know the way that people are. And every administration, particularly the last several, has had some sort of an issue swirling around it. Whether people agree with it or don't, whether they think it should be looked into or not, it doesn't matter. There's been issues around all of these administrations, certainly in the first Trump administration. So when you look at this, what is the incentive for that FBI agent to open that case into a member of Trump's inner circle? I can't think of one because it sounds like you're potentially asking for an automatic pink slip.
Well, I'm trying to listen for what you are and are not saying, and surely you're not arguing that the last 4 years were akin to the previous 4 years. I mean, the previous 4 years, the first Trump administration, Trump started by asking Jim Comey to see to it to let Mike Flynn go, who pleaded guilty twice in open court.
No doubt.
So the FBI's also the last president never maligned the FBI once. So again, I just want to be really honest with our audience. This is not a bureau that had the same experience the last 4 years as the previous 4.
No, that's not the equivalent. But the equivalent is when you're in these cases that are big publicity cases, headquarters becomes involved, different procedures become involved, and all of a sudden, if you're, I'm trying to put you in the shoes of the agent who's opening the case.
I want to know what it's like
these cases
to be
in a Biden administration. What do you think now?
I get
given
that.
the last
I
2
get
years?
that. But there's never been an agent in the FBI's history who's gone to work for the author of a book with an enemies list, with the last Republican appointed Attorney General on it, Bill Barr. What is that like?
Yeah, and I think that's the situation where you're coming into and you're saying, is it the guy who said the things he said in front of the Senate trying to testify for his job? Or is it the guy that wrote the book, to your point, and the things he said in the enemies list and things like that? And so I think that you look at that and you say, well, that's the book that the person wrote. Where does their real heart lie?
It's not like a college essay, though. I mean, it's a book you wrote last year.
Yeah, I don't think I need to spell it out for anybody. I mean, that's clearly like, this is what this guy's thoughts are. This is what he believes in.
I mean, if they're
And so
asked
if
to
you're an agent-
investigate Brendan, who prosecuted January 6 cases, what will they do?
Did you know you could be entitled to a 5 or 6 figure payout if you were in a traffic collision within the past 2 years? Yes, even if you weren't the driver. Just click on the link around this video to discover how much you're entitled to. Fill out a free 30-second quiz and you're done. Because if you've had to miss work or been hurt by a motorist in the past 2 years, you may be owed money and you don't even know it. It could be a 5, 6, or even 7-figure settlement. Simply click the link to find out. Over 25,000 accident victims have recovered $15 billion collectively with free case evals without stepping foot in a courtroom, paying excessive legal fees, or having to navigate the insurance gauntlet alone. Even pedestrians.
I think that's really where the rubber is going to meet the road. And I think that's something that we'll have to watch over the coming couple of years. And I think there's a feeling among the older guard of the FBI, which is if those types of things are coming forward, that's where an agent, that letter that you read when you started the show, that person who plays golf with their neighbor, who goes to school choir practices or goes to school soccer games that you know, that's when that agent now has to make a determination, do I quit my job on principle? And that's going to be a really tough place for them to be because of how it impacts their livelihood. That's what we've been reporting on. And that's a situation I think, you know, a lot of them are going to say, I might have to resign. And that's a tough spot to put somebody in that.
It's
in that
brutal.
sense.
It is a consequence of the election. Elections have consequences. But prosecuting you is something Trump has talked about on the campaign trail. It's something Pam Bondi refused to rule out in her confirmation hearings. It's something, as I think Tom is insinuating, Kash Patel was to be the most generous, opaque on. But tell me what the nightmare scenario is for you.
Well, the nightmare scenario, I suppose, for me personally, or for any of the prosecutors that were involved in January 6, would be political prosecutions against us. But I think that this president would really like the narrative to be him versus the prosecutors. I don't think anybody's better equipped to handle the stresses of the legal system than lawyers and prosecutors in particular. The folks that I really worry about are the agents that you're just talking about. You know, identifying 5,000 agents that were involved in the January 6th investigations and potentially revealing those names to the public. This goes part and parcel with the pardons of the rioters from a few weeks ago. You know, the purpose of those pardons was to empower vigilantes and militias that were loyal to the president, but ultimately unaccountable to the government. And if these names are released, that gives those vigilantes, those militias, a target.
a billionaire. I'm shopping like a billionaire. I'm shopping like a billionaire. I'm shopping like a billionaire. I get it straight from the neck 'cause I'm shopping like a billionaire. Download the Tender app and shop like a billionaire.
File your taxes 100% free in the app if you didn't use us last year. Just file with TurboTax Do-It-Yourself by February 18th. All tax forms and tax situations. Make the switch to TurboTax Do-It-Yourself and file free by February 18th. Download now.
We begin tonight less than 3 weeks into this new administration, and we are already facing what is rightfully being described as a constitutional crisis. It comes not from the man elected to sit behind the Resolute desk, but from the unelected one, who appears to be pulling all the strings, tech billionaire Elon Musk. It's happening in real time, thanks to Elon's made-up Department of Government Efficiency that he and a handful of young adults from his private companies have unleashed on this country with nearly unfettered access to any agency or database they choose to infiltrate. In this short time, we've seen them all but abolish the U.S. Agency for International Development, with plans to reduce its workforce from 5,000 to what's expected to be about 600. And it's being done without congressional authority, which is required given that it was Congress that passed the law that formally established the agency. Of course, this is just the start. With little pushback, Musk and his minions are gaining access to more and more U.S. government agencies every day. Just today, Trump said he instructed Musk to check out the Pentagon. And those people gaining access to the most sensitive systems are not the best and the brightest. Yesterday, one of Elon's little henchmen resigned from DOGE after his now deleted racist social media posts resurfaced. According to the Wall Street Journal, the posts from 25-year-old Marco Elez included such gems as, "Just for the record, I was racist before it was cool. You could not pay me to marry outside of my ethnicity," and "normalize Indian hate." And this morning, right on cue, Vice President James David Vance said Elez should be brought back onto the team, posting, "I don't think stupid social media activity should ruin a kid's life." Oh, okay, so now he's just a kid who was given direct access to Treasury Department systems responsible for nearly every single payment made by the U.S. government, including Social Security checks that people rely on. A kid? I thought they were highly trained professionals, man, not kids. To no one's surprise, Elon jumped on his personal version of Truth Social and tweeted in agreement with JD and announced Elez's triumphant return this afternoon. This after spending much of yesterday joking with his Twitter stands about another one of his junior henchmen who on his LinkedIn went by the name Big Balls and who also had access to millions of Americans' personal data. The absolute unseriousness of these people stands in stark contrast to the dead seriousness of what they're doing to our country and the many unknowns about what they could be doing with our data. Meanwhile, the acting U.S. Attorney for D.C., Ed Martin, who earlier this week said he would pursue legal action against anyone who threatens any DOGE employees, something that he offered no evidence has happened, is now saying that he is beginning an inquiry into those supposed threats after a referral from Elon Musk, who apparently now, in addition to wielding the power afforded to Congress in the Constitution, also has the power to order federal criminal investigations. Martin wrote directly to Elon, "We will investigate them and we will chase them to the end of the earth to hold them accountable. We will not rest or cease in this. No one should abuse American taxpayer dollars nor American taxpayer workers." Are these American taxpayer workers? I don't know about that. We don't have any evidence of that. And by the way, we've heard no such pledge from Martin after a conservative website funded by the Heritage Foundation published what it called a DEI watch list with the names, photos, and identifying information of federal health workers involved in diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, and that at one point described them as targets. Apparently, in Elon and Don's America, the federal government is no longer here to protect you. It is here for one purpose and one purpose only: to empower and protect Elon Musk and his friends. Joining me now is Congressman Jamie Raskin of Maryland, ranking member of the House Judiciary Committee. I do want to start with that threat from Mr. Martin. Your thoughts on that? He has not offered any evidence that anything has happened other than these names being published by Wired and other journalists. So whatever could he mean by pursuing these so-called threats? He's not given any evidence of it, and no one should threaten anyone. Let's just be clear about that. What do you make of his threats?
I mean, he didn't utter a peep when Enrique Tarrio recently pardoned, issued a social media statement on X, I believe, with the name of the female FBI agent who he accuses of various nefarious crimes, and says that she should be arrested and put in jail, and bringing all kinds of social pressure on her. He's not done anything to try to insulate the FBI agents who've come under attack by all of the Freed Proud Boys and Oath Keepers and Three Percenters and violent insurrectionists. So that guy is a J6 enthusiast. He's a J6 lawyer, and he's doing everything in his power to exact retaliation against the federal prosecutors and the FBI agents and the cops who simply did their jobs for America.
You know, I still recall, and it still sears in my mind, Ruby Freeman and Shay Moss saying that you can't describe the feeling of your federal government coming after you and training the entire awesome power of the White House on you as just an individual person. What we have now is the U.S. Attorney from Washington, as well as the Heritage Foundation, through its donation to this watch list group. You know, the people on that list, they put their faces in there, they put their identifying information. Some of them have gotten unsolicited pizza deliveries so that people will letting them know they know where they live. People have gotten swatted. I don't hear any impetus from this federal government under the Trump administration to protect any American who, as you said, are being threatened. And they are also demanding to know the identities of these FBI agents, as you just said. And who knows whether those will just wind up in the hands of Elon Musk, who seems to think this is all hilarious. At this point, what protection do ordinary Americans who are not Trumpers, what protection do we have at all?
Well, the Association of FBI Agents went to court yesterday to try to protect not hundreds, but thousands of FBI agents who are within the scopes of Donald Trump and his team of people trying to whitewash January 6th. They consider it essential to completely rewrite the story of what happened and turn these criminals, who they call political prisoners and hostages, into heroes and patriots, and then turn the people who enforced the law to defend the democracy, including cops who were wounded and injured and hospitalized, turn them into the villains of the story. It's just so outrageous. And, you know, they have spent the last few years talking about the weaponization of government without any evidence for it, all obviously to prepare for their weaponization of the government to make people think that this is normal.
It's kind of bizarre watching our country sort of descend into this sort of, you know, what in the past would have been called sort of third world sort of junta behavior, but it is happening in real time. And I will note that Marvin Dunn, Marvin Dunn, the former police officer Dunn, Marvin Dunn is another Dunn, was just confronted by one of these J6ers in the street, Harry Dunn, in the streets of DC. You know, by one of them. But anyway, let me move on to the actual thing. I think that people are really freaking out and terrified about. These unelected people, they're not government employees. Nobody knows, you know, DOGE doesn't exist. It isn't real. They now have access to maybe hundreds of millions of people's data. The Congress passed a law trying to stop TikTok from operating out of fear that the Chinese government would get Americans' data through TikTok. This is now a group of people, some of whom have expressed openly racist views, you know, that are particularized against certain communities, or who are just unserious in some of the goofs they've done online, don't seem very like serious people. They can do whatever they want with this data. By the time the courts adjudicate this, won't it be too late? Won't they maybe have already downloaded it and repurposed it for whatever?
Well, that's why we need the courts to move so quickly and to enjoin any further leakage or any corruption and misuse of this data while we can. And it may be getting late. I mean, you mentioned the Chinese government, and Elon Musk is, of course, very much in bed with the Chinese government and the Chinese Communist Party. So if they want any of this data, they've got a very clear channel by which they can get it. And it's an absolute violation of the Privacy Act and a whole bunch of other federal laws that are being violated. But Elon Musk has been sending his juvenile fascist night crew to federal agencies and departments throughout Washington, including coming into my district, to NOAA, to NIH, the FDA, in order to get not just all the financial records, but personnel records at NIH, patient records, records from various studies and various grants. So they want to run roughshod over the entire legal infrastructure protecting the privacy rights of the people, all for their own purposes, which may be governmental, they may be corporate, they may be private, they may be political. And right now, all we've got is the opportunity for courts to step in to say that this data must be returned to the government, and we've got to end this raid on it by Elon Musk.
I want to just note for the audience that Donald Trump has announced today that he's going to fire some January 6th investigators, calling them, some of them, corrupt. You responded actually to this normalized Indian hate guy. And it's sweet that you don't want to ruin a kid's life, saying to J.D. Vance something to bear in mind next time you oppose gun safety laws. But does that mean that this kid should have access to private data of tens of millions of Americans? And I will note one more thing just for the audience. The New York Times is reporting that the Treasury Department has installed an ally of Elon Musk in a key position overseeing the nation's payment system, replacing a career civil servant who had resisted granting Mr. Musk's cost-cutting team access to payment data. The payment data seems particularly important and particularly sensitive. By the time, again, if the Supreme Court gets this case, and I have no faith, I'm being honest, that John Roberts won't just enshrine this under law and say that Donald Trump does have the unitary authority to spend America's money and it's not Congress. By the time it gets there, again, won't it be too late? They have the payment system. They've got the normalized Indian hate guys back on the job. Can we even stop this?
Well, I mean, speed is of the essence here, for the reasons you're saying, Joy. It is an overwhelming amount of information about a huge number of people. And so if the courts move with dispatch, they might be able to prevent a lot of damage from being inflicted. But nobody should normalize what's going on here.
Just after the election, 3 days after the election, a right-wing streaming network started airing a 6-part Russian propaganda special attacking the FBI. Now, I say it was a Russian propaganda special because, specifically, it was made by a producer who has made a living making propaganda for the Kremlin. One of the producers, the guy who financed and produced this film, this docu-series, this attack on the FBI, he has been paid by the Kremlin to produce videos that are designed to lure Westerners, including Americans, to leave the West and move to Mother Russia. That project was funded by the Presidential Foundation for Cultural Initiatives, which is a state entity created in the Kremlin by Vladimir Putin in 2021. This guy served on the board of a Russian propaganda outlet that was designed to look like an American news site. It was launched in the months leading up to our 2024 election. It was full of pro-Russia and anti-Ukraine content. This guy has produced hagiographic biographies of pro-Kremlin dictators, including, I kid you not, an 8-part series singing the praises of the dictator of Kazakhstan. And that was paid for by a charity controlled by the dictator of Kazakhstan. He also created a pro-Kremlin anti-Ukraine film that was paid for by a pro-Kremlin anti-Ukraine oligarch who has been under U.S. sanctions for more than a decade. He and his company produced another anti-Ukraine film last year that featured claims smearing President Biden that were delivered by a guy who is under indictment in this country and sanctioned by the US government as a Russian agent. So this is kind of their oeuvre. This is what these folks do. But their newest, this multi-part anti-FBI documentary that came out 3 days after our election in November, it was directed by a former host from Russian state TV, which is sanctioned in this country as a vehicle for Kremlin-sponsored disinformation and disruption efforts targeting the American people in our elections. Now, at this point, you're thinking, okay, dog bites man, right? Some streaming outlet is running a pro-Russia, anti-US government thing, okay, right? I know you're thinking, this sounds very familiar. There's a lot of things like this. We know Russia runs all sorts of psychological and disinformation campaigns against us. A big, slick, Kremlin-affiliated propaganda operation against the FBI, something designed to smear the FBI. Yeah, that tracks. We know the kind of stuff that they do to try to mess with us as a country. The FBI probably knows to expect it. They probably know how to handle these kinds of operations and threats from Russia, as long as they're from Russia. Senate financial disclosure forms show that President Donald Trump's nominee to lead the FBI was paid $25,000 by the company with the producer who has made the Russian propaganda for the Kremlin, who made this new film attacking the FBI. Kash Patel was paid $25,000 by that production company, apparently for his participation in the anti-FBI film. Mr. Patel appears in the film. He's in episode 4. He also got an executive producer credit on the film as well. This was first reported today by the excellent investigative reporter David Korn at Mother Jones. But we can show you, this is from Kash Patel's required financial disclosure form to the Office of Government Ethics as part of his nomination to be the director of the FBI. Global Tree Productions. That's this production company run by this Russian-American propagandist who was part of the Kremlin-funded influence campaign to get Westerners to move to Russia, who sat on the board of the Russian propaganda site apparently designed to sway our election. Here's the record of their $25,000 payment to the man Donald Trump wants to put in charge of the FBI. That payment apparently pursuant to his participation in their anti-FBI documentary. We have reached out to Mr. Patel and to the White House and to the film producer for comment tonight. We have not heard back. I should tell you the Washington Post has also picked up this story tonight. A spokesperson for Mr. Patel did tell the Post tonight, quote, "The Senate has evaluated all potential conflicts and concerns." Have they though? Have they? Are you sure? Was everybody totally aware of this one? Democrats on the Judiciary Committee did manage to push back Kash Patel's confirmation vote in that committee by a week. That was before this new reporting came out. As of now, the vote on his nomination is scheduled for next Thursday. I think we can expect all Democrats to pretty easily vote against Kash Patel for FBI director, but until next Thursday, that's how long Republicans on that committee have to decide whether they're okay with this too.
Happening right now, House Democrats are outside the Department of Education saying they're not being allowed in as they try to oppose the Trump administration's efforts to diminish and ultimately eliminate that department. Here was California Congresswoman Maxine Waters just moments ago.
This man is blocking the door. He says he's a federal employee. He won't tell us who gave him permission to do this. All he knows is he's going to stand here and tell the members of Congress who are elected, who vote for the funding for all of them in this building, and for the student loans, and for the Title I families, he's going to tell us that we can't come in and talk with anybody.
Congresswoman Waters is joining us by phone right now. Thank you so much for taking the time. What were you and your colleagues doing at the Department of Education?
Well, thank you so very much. One of the members of the Congress of the United States, Mr. Chitano, had tried to get an appointment with the acting secretary to talk with the acting secretary about what this decision was all about. What were they trying to do? Were they actually trying to close down the Department of Education? And so he did not get a response. He tried over and over again. And so he decided to have a press conference at the Department of Education. And so about 20 members of Congress joined him to go to the Department of Education, number one, to tell them, please do not shut down the Department of Education. What is this all about? The children are depending on you. The Title I funds are desperately needed. The loan funds, all of this money is tied up in decisions that are made here at the Department of Education. We couldn't get in. They sent a man out who said he was a security guard. He said he was a federal employee. He said that we could not come in, no matter who we are. We cannot come in because we didn't have a special appointment. Nobody informed him to allow us to come in. So we stood there, we talked, we tried to explain to him how important it was for him to go and let the assistant secretary know that we were outside and that we wanted to come in, that we were members of Congress. He refused to move, and we saw in the background that they had, put together about 20 police officers behind the door, so that I guess if we tried to get in, they might stop us. We didn't try to get in. We simply tried to make our case. But this is very important. The Department of Education is responsible for student loans, for Title I funds. They assist our state in making sure that children have access to education. Education is so important in our country, in this democracy, preparing children to be, productive citizens, preparing children to take over the important roles in this country, preparing them to sit on boards, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, Congressman, yes. I am reminded of what happened just last night, too, because we saw a post from Senator Ed Markey, who was denied access outside the EPA building last night, was greeted by a private security guard, apparently, and was told he couldn't come in. Is this the new tactic or strategy that Democrats are embarking upon to draw attention to the many things that are happening right now within the Trump administration? Should we expect more of these types of efforts?
Yes. You can expect more. As you know, we had thousands in front of the Treasury Department just 2 days ago. We were locked out. This is where Elon Musk had gone in and has access to all of the payment systems in this country, and who has all of the access to all of our private information, the Social Security numbers on everybody in this country, all of what is happening with the tax revenue, on and on and on, all of the bills to be paid. He has all of that. Elon Musk is basically a government gangster who's acting as president of the United States of America, and he is wreaking havoc on this country.
Congresswoman Waters, can you hold on for a second?
Yes.
Did you say that Elon Musk has people's tax ID numbers, social security numbers? Do you know that he actually has that information?
Yes, we know he got it. He's got it. Yes, ma'am. We know that he's in possession of it. Yes.
And what's your worry that he would do with that? About what he would do with that information?
With all of the private information that he has, he can do anything that he wants to do. I think he's capable of monetizing it. He has every database to put together that he wants, that is available to him with all of this information to do anything that he wants to do with it. He can turn it into market opportunities, et cetera, et cetera. I don't trust him. He's the richest man in this country, and not only is he in control of our payment system, They have gone abroad. Do you know that South Africa is being threatened by Elon Musk and the President of the United States because he wants to build a battery factory in South Africa, and he wants them to eliminate the 30% requirement that was fought for when we fought apartheid, and they put in their constitution that the businesses coming into Africa that want to do business have to have partnerships with the people who live there, 30%.
Okay.
And he is now being threatened, and now President Trump said they're going to take away all of their USAID money if they don't let them do it.
You certainly bring up some of the conflicts of interest with the Elon Musk involvement in all of these different areas. Thank you, Congressman Maxine Waters, for joining us. We appreciate you shining light.
Good evening from Washington, D.C. I'm Michael Steele, in for Chris Hayes. Donald Trump's war on the government is intensifying, and he has empowered the world's richest man, Elon Musk, to do the job. Musk and his minions are storming federal buildings and causing havoc. Protesters are hitting the streets and gathering outside government buildings to block Musk's access and voice their outrage. Today, House Democrats arrived at the Department of Education seeking a meeting with employees of Musk's Department of Government Efficiency, but they were blocked from entering. It was at least the fourth time this week that members of Congress were denied entry to a federal agency that they fund. As elected officials and Americans are trying to figure out what to do to stop this activity, the courts are responding. Today, a judge in Washington put a temporary hold on Musk and Trump's plans to fire almost the entire staff at USAID. Even so, Musk is plowing ahead, and he's doing it with the president's full approval.
Is there anything you've told Elon Musk he cannot touch?
Well, we haven't discussed that much. I'll tell him to go here, go there. He does it. He's got a very capable group of people. Very, very capable. They know what they're doing.
But as this continues, we're learning more and more about this, quote, capable group. It was just yesterday when one 25-year-old Musk staffer who had sensitive access to the Treasury payment system quit his job when the Wall Street Journal connected him to a social media account full of racist hatred. He was apparently posting stuff like, quote, "I was a racist before it was cool, and you could not pay me to marry outside of my ethnicity," and normalize Indian hate. And get this, Elon Musk is mad that the staffer had to quit. Go figure. He attacked the journalist even who wrote that story, folks. Oh, but it gets better. J.D. Vance, you know him, the Vice President of the United States, posted that he agreed with Musk. And apparently, so does Donald Trump.
One of the DOGE engineers was fired for some inappropriate posts. The vice president says, bring him back. What do you say?
Well, I don't know about the particular thing, but if the vice president said that, did you say that? I'm with the vice president. Thank you, Peter.
Yeah, there it is. This is all part of an emerging pattern, folks. Today, reporters found that another Musk staffer reposted white supremacists online. And we also learned today that yet another one was fired from a previous job with a cybersecurity firm for leaking company secrets. And because all of this centers around Elon Musk, the guy Donald Trump dispatched to dismantle the government, Trump is having to answer a lot of questions about Musk. I mean, just look at the cover of the latest Time magazine. Elon Musk behind the president's resolute desk, holding a cup of coffee. And you would think Trump would hate this kind of stuff, right? Because he has in the past. Because Musk is getting all the attention. But he appears to be taking it all in stride.
Is Time magazine still in business? I didn't even know that. Elon is doing a great job. He's finding tremendous fraud and corruption and waste. You see it with the USAID, but you're going to see it even more so with other agencies and other parts of government. He's got a staff that's fantastic.
He really loves Musk's staff. the people breaking what works for you in government to make it work for them. Now, there's hope, because there are Republicans on Capitol Hill, and they're ready to stop this. No, I'm just kidding. No, they're not. They could, put up those guardrails for Trump and rein in the elected
liberals are going crazy.
They won't.
We see this as an active, engaged, committed executive branch authority doing what the executive branch should do.
Some of my colleagues are screaming like they're part of a prison riot.
He's basically doing an audit, so I hope that he'll soon be issuing a thorough report to Congress and the public.
This is a reform movement. And for all the outrage bingo that my Democrat colleagues and many in the legacy media are playing, they ought to pace themselves, because it's going to be a long 4 years.
Republicans are not just going to stand up to Donald Trump at this point. Forget it. They've had decades worth of chances, and now here we are. Susan Glazer is a staff writer at The New Yorker, where she recently wrote about Elon Musk's revolutionary terror. April Ryan is the Washington bureau chief and senior White House correspondent for Black Press USA. They join me now. Susan, let's start with your New Yorker piece on what this Musk purge is all about. You wrote, if cutting the
they call it the Musk purge.
This is all about, then Trump and Musk would not be bothering with tiny USAID, whose estimated budget of some $40 billion is less than 1% of the federal government's. The point is not a policy fight, it's an execution. They're killing one agency to terrify 1,000 others. Those words are so true, and it is so obvious. Talk a little bit more about, from your reporting, what are you hearing and understanding what's really going on here and how these dominoes are starting to play out and fall out around the country across federal agencies?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, look, I think it's really important. Republicans, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, they think they have a strong hand. They think that nobody cares. Foreign aid is unpopular, that government has been demonized pretty successfully for decades by the Republican Party, essentially, going back to the Reagan era. Right, it's been a core part of the ideology of the GOP that the best thing that the federal government can do is get out of the way. Many Americans across the political spectrum believe that. They don't see, what the government does to keep your drinking water clean, to keep the planes safely in the sky, to stop infectious diseases outside of the country before they get here, which is one of the core missions of USAID funding that's now being cut. And so, in part, it's a reflection of their political assessment that these are vulnerable targets. Because remember, Donald Trump is a bully, and what he likes is to punch down, whether he is punching at Canada and Mexico and Denmark, rather than going after Russia and China, or going after, a tiny foreign aid agency. So I think that's part of it. The other part that's really striking, though, is that it's not about policy, Michael. And I find it hard this week, right? Because everybody wants to say, like, oh, let's make the case for my favorite policy. It's not about policy. Let's be honest about that, at least. If you want to have a disagreement with Republicans on Capitol Hill and Democrats about what they're funding, then do that. We know how to do that as a country. We have a system that works for that. Congress appropriated this money. There were negotiations and complicated deals that resulted in what we have right now. Elon Musk is taking a hatchet to the federal government and hoping that he can do as much damage as possible.
How y'all doing? Don't leave me. I ain't going nowhere. We finna wrap it up. to my secret spot. Now just look at here. This is how the Mexican people doing it right now. They got brand new Hummers, brand new Chevys, brand new goddamn Jeeps. That's a $60,000, $70,000 Jeep. This is an $80,000 Chevy. That's a $100,000 GMC Hummer right here. It's about $100,000, $120,000, all electric, goddamn Hot Wheels. They got BMWs, Mercedes G-Wagons. What? All these goddamn, there's $1 million worth of cars out here. And now none of these people speak English. How do you think American people really feel?
Yes, he did. I had like the phone. This man tried robbing a woman in broad daylight.
Skip the hassle of construction. Buy your house straight from the factory today. The house includes the decoration and appliance. Save 50% on your moving costs. It can withstand typhoon and earthquake. Super safe. Could you live here? Skip the hassle of construction. Buy your house.
On the next episode of Make It Mine, LMA needs help to make her studio apartment cozy instead of crowded. Designer Marie Cloud is an expert when dealing with functional living spaces. She'll blow LMA away with her creativity. Wow! The next episode of Make It Mine, LMA needs help to make her studio.
We have some pretty unfortunate news today. Why does the state have this law where the state comes here and says you're not allowed you're not allowed to?
Every single thing that I own fits into this tiny house. Today, I'm gonna give you a tour. Come on in. I once had a dream of being a millionaire with a big house, a shiny car, and fancy clothes. But every single thing that I own fits into this tiny house. Today, I'm gonna give you a tour. Come on in. I once had a dream of being a millionaire with a big house, a shiny car, and fancy clothes. But now, this simple life, connected to the earth, is the dream that I am living. My life revolves largely around food. Growing food, foraging for food, and that means storing food. In fact, about half of my possessions are jars. Right now, I am eating a completely non-industrial diet. So that means locally grown food, foraged food straight from the earth in whole form.
The city of Reno is looking to Seattle for some help dealing with our growing homeless population. On Friday, a delegation of local leaders headed there to tour some of their more creative solutions. Ariana Bennett got to tag along for that trip. And Ari, We're talking tiny houses?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Seattle has about half a dozen tiny house villages. Now, they use them for transitional housing for their homeless population and gave us a look at how they work. It's a story you'll see only on Channel 2. For new ideas, sometimes it's best to look outside of the box. In this case, outside of and inside a tiny house.
Come on in.
2 years ago, the city of Seattle voted to build villages like these, sets of tiny 8 by 10 foot homes, transitional housing to get people back on their feet. It's less than 120 square feet of living space. But for many, it's the first time in years they've had roof over their head.
Before the camp, me and my husband were living underneath the West Seattle Bridge for probably about a good 2 years. Going from that to this is like you get some sense of normalcy again.
Seattle is struggling with rising rents and a growing population that pushes more people out onto the streets. And Reno officials say that's the future for us without some major changes.
Rents are starting to skyrocket, and if we don't do something about it and start looking outside the box, then we're going to see our homeless population escalate more than it already has.
That's what brought this delegation from Northern Nevada to see if these tiny homes could be a big solution.
Usually people put like a bed up here.
A roof, a bed, and a place to keep your things.
The villages are on public land, and the city of Seattle does the sanitation and trash pickup. The rest of the costs come from fundraising. The homes cost about $1,200 each. They're built by church groups, tribes, and high school building programs, and then donated. The residents staff the village themselves. They take shifts doing security and cleanup and any other jobs that need doing. For Charmaine, that's been the best part. She spent 8 years working in accounting before addiction and tough circumstances left her homeless. Now, she's the official village bookkeeper.
To do that and to actually, do stuff here is I have a job again, pretty much. And it feels good. Working here as bookkeeper is a voluntary position. I can also put that on my resume saying that I did this, and I have character references and so forth. So, not, being homeless, I made something of myself while I'm homeless also.
And when it comes to getting an outside job, the residents get help from caseworkers. They also have access to community laundry facilities and showers. They can leave for interviews and lock their doors without wondering if their belongings will be there when they get back. Like shelters, there's no alcohol, drugs, violence, or weapons allowed. But unlike shelters, couples can live together. People can keep their pets with them, and fathers aren't separated from their children. It's a change Cashel says he wants to see in Reno.
Everybody wants to get them off the river, want to get them out of the alleyways and out in front of their businesses. Well, so we got to put them somewhere. And this is the best solution that I've come up with so far.
Yeah, there was a lot of enthusiasm for this project, but before the city can go full steam ahead on tiny villages, they do have to work through a lot of details and some red tape. I spoke with the assistant city manager about this, and tomorrow night we will bring you the logistics of tiny houses in Reno, basically what it would take to bring them here. Covering the story live, Ariana Bennett, Channel 2 News.
We just beat the system. I think this can still be done in 2023. I have 30 acres out here in the middle of nowhere. When I bought this land, this is exactly what it looked like behind me, overgrown brush. This is what it looks like now. Buying this land cost me $1,200 per acre. Because this land is listed as agricultural land, my taxes are less than $200 a year. The land company I bought the land from in-house financed this land for $500 a month on a 10-year note. The tiny house...
Day one of cleaning up the shithole. We bought this property sight unseen at a tax auction for only $20 grand. And as you can see, it is quite a mess right now. From what we know, the property's been vacant for at least 2 years. And whoever lived here last left quite the disaster, inside and outside. Plan is to get the exterior cleaned up a little bit before we start on the inside. We started by trying to mow down the 4-foot high grass, but we quickly realized the property is covered in debris. So we started doing small sections, mowing, cleaning, mowing, cleaning. Yeah, you get the point. And we found all kinds of things.
things, from hot water heaters to jars of peanut butter to old Mountain Dew bottles. You name it, we probably found it in this grass. It's almost as if they didn't have a trash service and just threw all their trash in their yard. I think we almost filled one whole dumpster just trying to get access to the front and back door. Also separating all of the scrap metal from the junk in the trash. So we can take all of that to the scrap yard and get paid for it, which will help with the cost of the dump fees and the remodel. And you'd be surprised at how much scrap metal we actually found on this property. It was insane. The person who lived here before must not have had the means to be able to take all this metal in, because he probably could have paid for a whole new house with that amount of scrap. Or at least pay for a trash service. But anyways, we're saving a ton of money because we're doing this cleanup all on our own, and the remodel. If we had to pay somebody to clean up the exterior and all of the outbuildings, it would probably cost us at least 10 grand. And it's nice because we don't even have to rent a dumpster, we own a dump trailer. And of course, Fletch, who knows how to do just about everything and anything. And if he doesn't know how to do it, he'll figure it out. This is what it looked like after one full day's of work, and we finally got access to the front and the back door. Day one of cleaning up this shithole. We bought this property sight unseen.
It's 2025. I found a man and he's illegally living in the woods.
He started out in this little tent for a month, then he got himself a bigger tent, and now it's got colder.
Moved into a caravan with an awning to help him sort out his toilet and septic system.
I've got this lovely little tent here, which contains a bucket toilet.
People might think he's a bit silly at the minute, living in this sort of stuff in the woods. Wait until you see why he can end up living it.
Over the next couple of months, he'll upgrade himself to one of these fancy build-yourself Lego cabins. Pretty simple construction. Piece, put it in the right spot, hammer it down, it's fixed in position. It comes as
air gap in the middle that you can fill with 70mm of insulation.
This is a two bedrooms over this side, bathroom at the back, kitchen in the middle, and the rest of it's a big open plan lounge.
It's got a tarp on it and some pools of water at the minute, but that's to protect it because we've had a lot of rain and all the leaves are falling.
This sort of cabin also comes with all the doors and windows already made for you too. Mostly comes with big long lengths like this that you just got to hammer together.
His current setup. He's not living legally because the council haven't said he can't live here yet. Found a man and he's illegally living in the woods.
He started out in this little tent for a month, then he got himself a bigger tent, and now it's got colder.
Moved into a caravan with an awning to help him sort out his toilet and septic system.
I've got this lovely little tent here, which contains a bucket toilet.
People might think he's a bit silly at the minute, living in this sort of stuff in the woods. Wait until you see why he can end up living in.
Over the next couple of months, he's upgrading himself to one of these fancy build-yourself Lego cabins. Pretty simple construction, comes pre-cut with these grooves. Find the relevant piece, put it in the right spot, hammer it down, it's fixed in position. It comes as a double layer,
got a nice air gap in the middle that you can fill with 70mm of insulation.
This is a 2-bed cabin, 2 bedrooms over this side, bathroom at the back, kitchen in the middle, and the rest of it's a big open plan lounge.
It's got a tarp on it and some pools of water at the minute, but that's to protect it because we've had a lot of rain and all the leaves are falling.
This sort of cabin also comes with all the doors and windows already made for you too. Mostly comes with big long lengths like this that you just got to hammer together.
His current setup. He's not living illegally because the council haven't said he can't live here yet. Found a man and he's illegally living in the woods.
He started out in this little tent for a...
Welcome to my tiny home project. So we're standing inside what was once a 36-foot utility garage building that I had prefabricated and delivered to a site, and we turned it into a living space. There's a great little kitchenette here, very functional, has a sink and full cabinetry. We decided not to go with a full stove because of electric cooking countertop appliances that go on here underneath this vented hooded microwave. This is a little bathroom that we built into this, so this space is actually only a 4-foot bath by 11-foot deep. Just finishing touches on this now. We're about ready to put the doors and trim on, and those are going to be the last pieces. And this is really kind of the icing on the cake. This is a very tiny room. It's only 7 feet wide by 11 feet long. Let me show you how amazing this is. So this is a full queen-size bed. Very easily sleeps 2 people. And this converts this tiny little room into a beautiful bedroom. The desk, that's right. Welcome to my tiny home project. So we're standing inside what was once a 36-foot utility garage building that I had prefabricated and delivered.
Everyone was a slave. Everyone.
Well, not everyone was a slave.
No, everyone was a slave.
Okay, but
we are all descended from slaves.
Yeah.
Well, all of us.
Yeah.
It's just a question of when. Was it more recent or less recent? That's it.
Right.
But what future do we want? Is this something we want to make part of our constant dialogue forever, or do we want to say, like, let's just move on and treat everyone according to just who they are as an individual?
I agree with that.
that doesn't mean a lot to a whole lot of people who aren't able to take advantage of the opportunities that you were able to take advantage of, simply because of the color of your skin.
What advantages does the white color of my skin give me?
Well, there's an ease that you have in society that many people of color don't.
If we keep making that the central thing, it will never go away. I think we want to get away from making everything a race or a gender or whatever issue, and just treat people like individuals. Everyone was a slave. Everyone.
Well, not everyone was a slave.
No,
but
everyone was a slave.
Okay, but
we are all descended from slaves.
Yeah.
Well, all of us.
Yeah.
It's just a question of when. Was it more recent or less recent? That's it.
Right.
But what future do we want? Is this something we want to make part of our constant dialogue forever, or do we want to say, like, let's just move on and treat everyone according to just who they are as an individual?
I agree with that. That doesn't mean a lot to a whole lot of people who aren't able to take advantage of the opportunities that you were able to take advantage of, simply because of the color of your skin.
What advantages does the white color of my skin give me?
Well, there's an ease that you have in society that many people of color don't.
If we keep making that the central thing, it will never go away. I think we want to get away from making everything a race or a gender or whatever issue, and just treat people like individuals. Everyone was a slave. Everyone.
Well, not everyone was a slave.
No,
but
everyone was a slave.
Okay, but
we are all descended from slaves.
Yeah.
Well, all of us.
Yeah.
It's just a question of when. Was it more recent or less recent? That's it.
Right.
But what future do we want? Is this something we want to make part of our constant dialogue forever, or do we want to say, like, let's just move on and treat everyone according to just who they are as an individual?
I agree with that. That doesn't mean a lot to a whole lot of people who aren't able to take advantage of the opportunities that you were able to take advantage of, simply because of the color of your skin.
What advantages does the white color of my skin give me?
Well, there's an ease that you have in society that many people of color don't.
If we keep making that the central thing, it will never go away. I think we want to get away from making everything a race or a gender or whatever issue.
This is a new close to zero outside, and it's probably close to 73, 74 degrees inside. You're standing around in a t-shirt, and it's pretty comfortable. Yes, we insulated the subfloor.
Anti-Semitism is not just wrong, it's un-American.
With this, who needs to buy a house anymore? This capsule house won't cost you $150,000, not even $100,000. Fully made in our factory with all the furniture and appliances included, shipped worldwide. Plus, you can customize.
This robot, it is
No, it's totally different. It's public property. So if you want to take this to a lawyer, and by all means, I don't care. Go take it to a lawyer, okay? No crime's been committed. You guys can...
In a hilarious video, Karen calls cops over neighbor's window color. But what...
Sometimes it's concerning how indecisive I can be, but other times it really ends up in a best case scenario. Like today when I was craving eggplant parm and stuffed shells, so I just put them together.
I think most people who drive on the 5, heading up to San Francisco, for example, won't know what it is that they're looking at, but that is actually part of the water supply for the city. It's actually
like half of the water supply for the city of LA.
Yeah, it's quite a lot.
Yeah.
And it's a historic landmark. There it is. Yeah, you can see the water. Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah. After snapping a few photos of the Silmar Cascades,
wouldn't be a road trip if we weren't covered in documentation.
We wound our way up San Francisco Canyon to the enormous penstocks that feed Powerhouse Number 2.
Wow. So this is LA's water supply.
Yeah.
And there are 3 of these things too.
Yeah.
You can see this is giant pipes.
Yeah, coming out of the mountain. They're obviously blasted tunnels all the way through, reinforced with concrete, and then they plunge down over the edge here, down to Power Station 2. I think most people who drive on the 5, heading up to San Francisco, for example, won't know what it is that they're looking at, but that is actually part of the water supply for the city. It's actually
like half of the water supply for the city of LA.
Yeah, it's quite a lot.
Yeah.
And it's a historic landmark. There it is. Yeah, you can see the water. Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
After snapping a few photos of the Silmar Cascades,
Wouldn't be a road trip if we weren't covered in documentation.
we wound our way up San Francisco Canyon to the enormous penstocks that feed Powerhouse Number 2.
Wow. So this is LA's water supply.
Yeah.
And there are 3 of these things too.
Yeah.
You can see this is a giant pipes.
Yeah, coming out of the mountain, obviously blasted tunnels all the way through, reinforced with concrete, and then they plunge down over the edge here, down to Power Station 2. I think most people who drive on the 5.
What's going on? You alright? You good? You want a coat? Thank you. Just make sure it fit.
Yeah, man.
You good? Some socks in there and a thermal.
Okay, dog.
Alright?
Say, dog.
What's your name?
Say.
Jay? Romeo. You sure you don't want nothing to eat?
Nah, brother.
I know you say you just went to Arizona, but I also got you food too. Chicken over rice.
Okay, bro.
Alright? Alright, God bless you. What's going on? You alright?
Bro, it's crazy that what you have to do in 2025, bro. Like, I don't blame the guy at all. Bro, it's crazy that this is what you have to do in 2025, bro. Like, I don't blame the guy at all. Bro, it's crazy that this is what you have to do in 2025, bro. Like, I don't blame the guy at all.
Okay, I was at the door already on my way out. And the truck is already rented, so the timer is actually running on the truck.
This is why we do shower can testing.
As parents of 2, life is...
Would you rather have $100 for yourself or give $200 to somebody else?
I want $100 for myself.
Oh, okay. Would you rather have $100 for yourself or give $200 to somebody in the store?
Well, I'd rather do something for a lot of folks down there who are shooting on the goal. I'd rather figure out how we can get sleeping bags, 100 sleeping bags.
All right, let's make it happen. Keep them coming, Rich. We're getting there. 39, class 1, 100.
I've been wanting to do this for a long time, but I didn't know how to do it. When I met you guys, I figured out how to do it. Thanks, guys.
All right, tell you when I Rich. We're gonna start. Rich.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay warm.
There
Here you go, sir. You're welcome.
Hell yeah. So we gave away 100 sleeping bags. in towns where I didn't know where the heck I was, but these boys deliver the goods, and it feels really good. Right?
Would you rather have $100 for yourself or give $200 to somebody else?
I want $100 for myself.
Oh, okay. Would you rather have $100 for yourself or give $200 to somebody in the store?
Well, I'd rather do something for a lot of folks down there who are shooting up the gold. I'd rather figure out how we can get sleeping bags, 100 sleeping bags.
All right, let's make it happen. Keep on coming, Rich. We're getting there. 39, class 1, 100.
I've been wanting to do this for a long time, but I didn't know how to do it. But when I met you guys, I figured out how to do it. So thanks, guys.
All right, tell you when, Rich. We're going to start. Rich.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Say what? Here you go. Here you go, sir.
This kid was just trying to have some fun during halftime, but couldn't stop making his shots, and what happens next is crazy. This kid was just trying to have some fun during halftime, but couldn't stop making his shots, and what happens next is crazy. This kid was just trying to have some fun during halftime, but couldn't stop making his shots, and what happens next is crazy.
Hello, so we have to be able to spit some change, so I'll get something to eat.
I don't have any cash on me, man, but I am going in there, so if I have change coming out. Turns out it's her lucky day.
Why you say that?
I actually have a few dollars in my pocket.
Oh, wow, that would be help.
Here you go, man. Stay safe, okay?
Yes, sir. Wait a minute, sir.
What's up?
You guys gave me 300. Are you sure that this is supposed to be for me?
Yeah, it's for you.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
You're okay?
I had a physical disability. I don't know when the last time I got incarcerated. Are you sure this wasn't a mistake?
Listen, man, if you didn't call me back, I would have kept walking away.
You will be blessed.
Can you do me a favor?
What's that, sir?
Don't give up.
People like you, sir, I would never give up. You're a striver.
God bless you, man.
God bless you. Hello, so we have to be able to spit some change, so I'll get something to eat.
I don't have any cash on me, man, but I am going in there, so if I have change coming out, I'll give it to you, okay?
I greatly appreciate it.
Turns out it's her lucky day.
Why you say that?
I actually have a few dollars in my pocket.
Oh, wow, that would greatly help.
Here you go, man. Stay safe, okay?
Yes, sir.
The more I grow, the more I see everything I need is free. The old me would have took this pineapple, I would have cut this thing up like this, and I would have peeled it. You know, then I'll cut it up, I would have ate it, and then I would have thrown all this away. But then I learned you can do this with the top part of the pineapple. You can put it in the soil like this. And what's so crazy is, it grow a whole nother pineapple plant. Check this out. That's what I'm saying, like, the more I grow, the more I see everything I need is free. The creator of all things knew what they was doing, man. Prayers up, Leslie. The more I grow, the more I see everything I need is free. The old me would have took this pineapple, I would have cut this thing up like this, and I would have peeled it. You know, then I'll cut it up, I would have ate it, and then I would have thrown all this away. But then I learned you can do this with the top part of the pineapple. You can put it in the soil like this. And what's so crazy is, it grow a whole nother pineapple plant. Check this out. That's what I'm saying, like, the more I grow, the more I see everything I need is free. The creator of all things knew what they was doing, man. Prayers up, Leslie. The more I grow, the more I see everything I need is free. The old me would have took this pineapple, I would have cut this thing up like this, and I would have peeled it. You know, then I'll cut it up, I would have ate it, and then I would have thrown all this away. But then I learned you can do this with the top part of the pineapple. You can put it in the soil like this. And what's so crazy is, it grow a whole nother pineapple plant. Check this out. That's what I'm saying. Like, the more I grow, the more I see everything I need is free. The creator of all things knew what they was doing, man. Turns up, blessings.
All right, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. I'm gonna go to sleep.
The old me would have took this pineapple. I would have cut this thing up like this, and I would have